Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
Hello there and welcome to episode 41 of the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray. Today's episode covers the power of compound interest. And friends, I'm not talking about finances, although the result of this may turn into greater financial rewards and success. What I'm talking about is the ability to build over time, overnight success. Every year in December, this is a month where content sounds something like this. The top 10 ways to have a great decade, your best day that you've ever had. All these tips and tools, and I think they're all super helpful. But I think it's really important to remember this. The best year you ever had started 10 years ago. Overnight success or long-term achievement is playing long game. The presentation you crushed this morning came from years of preparation and practice. And don't forget that. My bet is you recognize this already. So how do we start that overnight success today? I've got a few specific ideas for you that I think have helped me over time, and I just want to pass them along. First, building a presence daily. Find a way of delivering value on a very consistent basis, and then, if you can, sharing it at scale with others. If you're listening to this podcast, for example, you know that I post a daily video walking out of the gym and my hair's everywhere and I got big circles under my eyes. And I posted it on LinkedIn, my YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter. And hey, it's not the greatest depth of content every day, but it's unique, it's authentic, and frankly, even more importantly, it's very consistent. This helps me deliver value and help on an ongoing basis. The second thing then is to establish your personal brand always. In my view, this is a thing that many professionals miss. They rely on their company or their corporate status to build their personal brand. And I think it's frankly something that you might want to pay attention to. I'm a huge advocate of personal branding. Why? Well, your company could fire you tomorrow. Did you rely on them to promote your expertise? Maybe that company had a role, but I would be executing content as a brand building, content delivering, network enhancing son of a gun all the time because the corporate strategy might change or not include you. Here's an example. My former company decided not to continue the Association Hustle podcast that I developed and built. And by the way, there are more than 300 episodes. And if you're in the association space, I think that stuff still applies. It had tens of thousands of downloads. Now, that was a strategic decision not to continue and their decision to make. Absolutely have no problem or hold a grudge about it. But here's the thing for you. I developed a following by doing that podcast, which enabled me to launch this one with an audience of thousands almost overnight because I had that personal brand already established. Not possible if I started from scratch or started this week rather than, frankly, a number of years ago. So always build that personal brand. Third, keep networking. I'm 57 years old and I'm still building my professional network. It's built on helping others and delivering some advantage or worth over time. And if you do that, it doesn't die. I wrote 2 endorsements for people on LinkedIn that I haven't talked to in a very long time as an example. But you must be keeping up with those deposits. And frankly, it feels good doing it. Here is another example. An association executive that I've networked with over the years provided a lead and content for a racing sponsorship. Now, those worlds don't collide very much in an organic random world, but with value delivery, personal brand, networking, it isn't a reach at all. Friends, that's it. This is your recipe for overnight success. Value delivery at scale, personal branding, and networking. It's a pretty simple recipe with not a lot of ingredients, only 3. Hey, I want to thank you for listening. I look forward to our visit next week on the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.